the path of something that crashed into our atmosphere. And I think it has to do with the sun, because in these areas, there tends to be these blue skies in which clouds cannot seem to form. And they're usually quite circular or spiral. And in these spaces, during the day, as the sun passes across the earth, it keeps evaporating the moisture and changing ever so slightly the atmospheric pressure quite rapidly. And sometimes in these areas where the sky is just blue, there's weather stations that have UV readings. And those UV readings, if the wind is a north-facing station in a varying midst of chaos during the presence of solar plasma arrival, apparently something arrives at the plasma that connects to something that landed on Earth. And they make these paths in the sky, I think, upon initial landing. And then our atmosphere takes over. And time, if that was traveling faster than the speed of light, and had to slow down so we could see it on a chemistry nanoscale, God only knows what that's doing. And then you have these beautiful lush forests filled with moisture, and it never really hits the same spot twice. Rarely. And nobody really notices anything, because everything just is so random looking. But when you really look at it, it's not so random. And you can see these dark storm clouds now forming where those paths kind of led to, which also I've seen up there. They are. Yeah, they lead to these darker clouds. And you're like, what are these clouds doing? What are you guys doing over there over the forest? You look so menacing. Menacing clouds. Well, it turns out that those menacing clouds make sense because that area was on fire. And so there's probably dirt and dust in the atmosphere that's rising